Hello everybody. Yes, today is 27th of March 2019 and my name is Graham Osano and I'm going to take you through the webinar titled Trends Indicators Explained. So basically this webinar we're just going to look at just the trend indicators, which there are very few. We're going to look at just some of them. We want to see how you can gain an edge by just using those indicators. So in that we are going to look at predefined indicators, and by that I mean those indicators which come by default, that anytime we install an MT4 you'll find that they're already there. Then I'm also going to look at custom indicators. Then I'm going to look at how you can attach an indicator to a chart, and especially how you can attach a custom indicator to a chart. Then how you'll be able to, maybe if you bought an indicator from someone or you downloaded the indicator from any site, how you'll be able to attach such a particular indicator to a chart. So those are just three main points. The last one, I'm going to look at the best indicators for long-term trading. So if you've noticed, in almost all my webinars, I always say that long-term trading is the best, especially if you're an investor. So assuming you want to invest today, then long-term is the best for you. You don't want to be wiped out because of the daily volatility. Like whatever is happening every day should not interfere with the long-term trade. So that's just one type of trading. There are scalpers, those people trade like maybe minutes, and then you also have day traders, those people trade daily basis, and then we have day traders. That is day traders are those that the trade they have expires after some days, and then we have position traders who trade like the position they open takes up to months to mature. So basically the indicators I'm going to teach you about today, they are for intraday and also for long-term trading. So they're position traders and also for day traders. So let's go straight to the chart. Let's move to the chart immediately and see. We have our chart there. So indicators, to attach indicators to a chart like this, let me delete all this first. These are to attach an indicator to any chart. You need to go to Market Watch and then identify the chart where you want the indicator attached to. In this is Euro USD. Right click it and then there's chart window. We have that attached already. Then as I've said, the indicators I'm going to talk about now are for long-term trading only. If you're not a long-term trader, then you may find them a bit tricky, although they are still useful for you. So to add an indicator, there are two options. You can go through this. There's the menu option where we have File, View, Insert, Charts, Tools, Windows, and Help. To insert an indicator, go to Insert, and then there's Indicator. We have this here. So the moment you're under this option indicators, the first one is the option for indicators, and these are list of the first 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. These are the immediate indicator that we've just used. If you use any indicator, maybe like in 1 minute ago you are using some chart and you just attach that an indicator to a chart, then you'll find it amongst this list. Then we have trend indicators. This is how our focus is. We're going to look at this, just few of them, not all of them exactly, just few of them. And then we're also going to look at custom indicators and then what custom indicators are. So predefined indicators are indicators that come with the MT4. Anytime you download an MT4 from a broker, we are using FreshForex. Anytime you download this MT4 and you install it on your computer, you'll find this already installed. You'll find this already 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. You'll find these 7 indicators already installed. There are also others which come by default. We also have this one that shows volume. There's also this one which also come by default. So these are the recent indicators, just as I mentioned. The first 7 are the initial, the ones that you've just used. So to attach for that, that's predefined. Let's talk about custom indicators. So all these were developed by traders, people who traded before, and they realized that such an indicator, like there's a particular pattern that was holding, so they created their own indicator, and then those indicators, they were standardized so that they are able to fit MT4. So anytime you install an indicator, maybe somebody has developed an indicator for you, then you'll find it under this option, under customs. You'll always get it under this option. So there's one thing which I want to mention. If this video is not clear, or maybe my audio is breaking, then you will need to, there's a link that's at the bottom of this video. Just click that link, you'll get the correct video, like the clear one in HD. So these indicators, these are the ones that programmers have come up with over some times. They have been able to develop, like even you today, if you can develop a very good indicator that's standardized, then you'll find it here. But if you bought an indicator from someone and you want it to have it installed in here, then you'll do like this. The very first thing, you need to locate that indicator first of all. Just a second, let me have that lined up straight for you. Assuming you have this indicator, you have an indicator called accelerator, and you want to attach it, you want it to appear in this option. You want it to appear under customs. Sorry, the appearing. Let's look for those indicators that are predefined first of all. Just a second. Indicators. Then we'll pick this one. We'll pick just a second. Looks like all of them are in here. But assuming this is an indicator, this is an MQL4 file which I created some times back. Assuming this is an indicator, you should an indicator that you just bought or you develop, copy that, and then wherever that file is, it may be on a desktop, just copy it from there, wherever source it is, then go to file, and then we have this one, open data folder. And then there's this MQL4, then go to indicators, and then you should paste it amongst this list. Then after pasting it, notice the name is MARSI. After you paste it there, you will need to restart your MT4. So remove that and then start afresh. Let it load. Just let's give it a second to line up immediately. A second, we have it there. So we want to see if the same indicator is available on our screen. Go there, then indicators, and then trend indicators. It's not there. It should appear under customs. So there is a start appearing here. It's actually here, but this is actually an expert adversarial indicator. That's why we cannot click. Even if you click, nothing will show up on the screen. So whatever the indicator, anytime you purchase an indicator from an online store, or maybe you download it from FreshForex, there's a very good one here where you can download. We have a shop here. Let's go to this option. We will explain this first of all before you move on. Indicators here. So assuming you've downloaded and one of these indicators, you download maybe this, or whichever indicator you've downloaded here, then just copy that particular file, then go to your MT4, and then come back here, then file, open data folder, and then MQL4, then paste it here, then restart your MT4. So after that, you'll be able to find it amongst this list, amongst custom indicators. So far we are not going to discuss custom indicators. We're going to discuss only this predefined indicator, which is under, in this case, this is trend, those that show us trend. And we're also going to discuss the best one, which I find ideal for us to trade. So there's another way other than going through insert, then you go to this option. You can also find indicators here, and then trend, search for it here. This is one way. This is the one which I mentioned was another way, and this was another very good way, and in fact a shortcut for the first way which I just mentioned. So you cannot locate them here, then you can also find them here immediately. So assuming you find that this option is not there, sometimes you'll find there is nothing on the screen. This thing happened to me sometimes back, and I think it's really good for us to look at it. Assuming you find your MT4 clean like this, what you need to do, go to view, and then toolbars, and then there's the first one, standard, which is this now appearing. Then add the next one, toolbar, charts, we have now that one, and these tools, lines, and then there's the last one, tools, and then there's time frame. So that's simply how you add options to your screen. This is not what you're supposed to look at today, but I'm looking at it because I realized sometimes back that it's very difficult for someone to find this menu if it disappears by any chance. So we'll go straight now to indicators. Let's look at those trend indicators in specific. Go to insert, and then we'll start with the very first one, which is average directional movement index. So in your MT4, this may not necessarily be the first one. This may not necessarily be the first one. So you may find this as the first one, which the first one here is always the first which was used immediately in the recent past. So the reason I'm having this here is because it's the one that I used just some few hours ago. I'll attach it. Then the period is just the number of candles back. Then I want it to apply to the close. Then the style of the main line, that should be, let's make it royal blue, and then this one should be immediacy green, then D minus should be red. I now have it attached on my screen. So this is called average directional movement index. How it works is this. It has three lines. This the first line. I want to remove these lines first of all. Then you see none, then none. We have this, the main line, which you have here. It's the main line, and then I'll remove this level here. But we have the main line which I'm having. This is how it comes. By default, you'll find there are three lines, but I want to attach each one individually. Then I'll explain each individually. So what this main line stands for is that there is a trend. Anytime this line cannot be treated alone, you have to have a level, and that level is in the range between 2 to 50. So the maximum, the median range, which is 25 here, that should be the range which determines whether there's a trend or there's no active trend. So I'm going to add a level first. That level is the one which I just deleted, and that should be 25. Added already. So what this line stands for and what this main line stands for is that anytime the main line, the complete one, is above 25, it shows that there's an active trend. It shows that there's an active trend, but it does not show which trend is active. It does show there's a trend, but does not show which trend is active. Then to know which trend is active, you need to edit this one, and then we add colors to D+. D+ stands for an uptrend. That one. So what this means is this: anytime you have the complete line above 25, it means that there's an active trend, but it does not show which trend is active. And then anytime, just a second, let me look for a case where it's easy to explain. SP500 is better. So from this point here, up to somewhere around there, somewhere around here, from this point to this point, you can see that the main line was above 25, and then the dotted line was actually on top. So what this dotted line means is that there's an uptrend. The trend which we are seeing based on the upper line is actually uptrend. Then the opposite is true. So we edit this one and add the last line, which is red, and red stands for downtrend. From this point here, we have, just a second, it appears that this chart has no clear downtrend, that's been up for maybe sometimes. We look for that right away. Still an active uptrend. We have this one, this one at this point, and then we also have up to that point. So even on the chart, you can see that the price was somewhere here. It has gone down up to that point, and while price was going down, the dotted red line was actually above, and then the main line was above 25. So anytime you have the complete line above 25 and then the red line above the green line, the green dotted one, then it means that the current dominant trend is downwards. Therefore, you should look for a sell. And anytime you have the dotted green one above the dotted red one, and then the complete line is above 25, then that means there's an active trend. There's an active uptrend. So as you can see, the chart has supported the same thing. We have the same thing on the main chart here. From this point to that point, you can see ever since the green line came above 25 and then the complete line also was above 25, the price has been actively upwards. So anytime you notice this setup, this formation, that the complete line is above 25 and then the green dotted one is above the red one, then it means that the current active trend is upwards. And anytime you have the complete line above 25 but the red line is above the green one, then it means that the current dominant trend is downward. Therefore, you should be looking for a sell, like in this case. So as I mentioned, this is really good when it is looked at from the highest time frame possible. Like it's much better if you begin to focus on such a setup while the time frame is monthly, weekly, or any time frame, but it should be the highest time frame possible. Like in this case, the guy who saw this one here, who saw the price somewhere here, let's have that deleted. So delete that, then you also get that deleted immediately. The guy who saw this happening, that the complete line was above 25 and the green one swapped places with the red one, confirmed that the current trend is upwards. Therefore, anything he was doing on this chart was buying. You focus on a buy until the opposite is true, and that opposite means that the green dotted one has to go below the red dotted one, which in this case has not happened from that point. It has continued up to somewhere around this point. So while this was true, you remain flat. If you took a buy at this point, assuming you took some buy while price was switching places, while the two lines were switching places, you're supposed to remain up to that point and then take profits there. And while it's below, while this is happening, that anytime it goes above, it goes below, there's no clear direction, leave everything aside. Then also enter trade when this has happened. When the complete line now goes above and the green one goes above the red one, then all of them are above 25. What this confirms is that the active trend is upwards. So you're supposed to look for a buy and a buy and a buy. So this is one very simple way to find trend. Don't find yourself trading where you don't understand a trend. Like there are some portions here where I don't understand what was happening. We had this point here. I completely did not understand what was happening here, and all because the red line and the green line keep swapping places. There was also a place where there was no clear direction, but the active line, the main one is above 25, so this is not a good one. Then there's another one here. Also at this point, I didn't understand what was happening. So I don't trade when I don't understand what is happening. If I don't understand anything happening, I don't do anything. Like if you're on this chart and don't understand what the chart is doing, it's better to leave it. Don't trade whatever you don't understand. So there's one thing which I want to add on this chart. I want to add another very good trend indicator. Yeah, and then go to trend to add average. This is another very good one which I normally use after ADX. I add that. Notice my period comes by default as 200. So I attach that to the screen. It's not appearing. Just a second. Let me see. Just a second. Properties. Let's see. Background is white. Indicators. Want to see if that's correctly attached. Just a second. So period, let me reduce period to 52. That's appeared already. what this means, how this works is this, that anytime, like in this case, you can see this price opened somewhere here and closed above. That is a buy sign. And anytime price opens above and closes below, that is a downtrend continuation. And then what this means, I say this is a buy, but it does not actually confirm that you're supposed to buy. It does not confirm a buy. It does not confirm that you're supposed to buy. What it shows you is trend. So anytime you have price opening below this moving average and closing above, then that's a sign that we are continuing upwards. And then anytime you have price opening above the moving average and closing below the same moving average, then that's a downtrend. So you can see after the close above, there's a pin bar, there's a pin bar, there's a gap, and if you can confirm after this gap below that there's an increase in volume, then price continued even higher. And at the same time, while price was continuing upwards, you can see that the indicator which you are having, the other indicator, was also showing us that the trend is upwards. So if you know something like this, that the two indicators, this one and then also this one, is showing you a sign that we are heading upwards, then you should be looking for a buy. Like in this case, the price opened here and then closed above. There's a sign that you're supposed to buy, that the trend is upwards, and then this one also is a second confirmation that the overall trend in this chart is upwards. So whatever you choose to do on this chart, it has to be upwards and upwards and upwards. So how you trade this moving average alone is this, that anytime the price moves far away from it, you don't do anything. But when price approaches it, you prepare for a buy. And anytime the price moves away from it, you don't do anything. But when price approaches the same moving average, you look for a buy. So someone may ask me, how did I come up with this figure 52? How did I know that the price, why is this significant? This period 52, what it means is the number of candles back. That's simply what it means. How many candles back? So let's leave it at that. How I came up with that is that I went through the strategy tester, which is somewhere here, and then I was searching for all the correct moving averages where if I trade, then the number of people that if I trade, I'm likely to make money. So I realized that 252, and there's 21, and then there's 9, then there's 14. Those are the best ones, which if I want to trade, I'll actually look at them. And I've explained how I came up with that one. I came up with that period through the strategy tester. I was actually just testing a strategy, and then I searched it. I didn't Google, so I basically back tested that one, and then I found that 200 was the correct one. So that's how I came up with the period. That is how I came up with this period, 52 period. And then in some cases you'll find I have that as 200. Then some case I have 21, like that. Yes. So let me have that the way you had it. So that's simply how you attach these two indicators. This is how you attach this, and that's how you attach also the another one. This is the next one, and that's simply how they work. To trade this one correctly, ensure that this is showing you an uptrend. There's an active uptrend here. The closest that are here has to be above the moving average. Then anytime the price approaches back, like anytime it trajects itself above, it goes outside, above, far away from that line, wait for it to try coming back up like a retracement. Then while it's somewhere there and you find a buy signal there, you pick the trade. Then if it continues up like that, you wait for price to basically come back to the same line so that you can pick a buy. So before you can buy somewhere here, ensure that the other indicator, which is this one in this case, is actually showing you a sign that you're supposed to buy. And that sign is trend continuation. It is showing you that we are actually continuing upward. Therefore, you're supposed to look for a trade in the direction of that move. There's something here also. Just a second. We have that. And to remove this, I'm also going to delete this. So there's something here you can see. While there's an active downtrend on this indicator here, the first one, the moving average, was actually no clear direction. Actually, it was moving up. You can see this oscillating in and out, in and out. So if this is true, that you cannot find any clear direction, or one indicator showing you a buy and the other one is not showing you any clear direction, don't do anything. Don't trade if you don't understand what a chart is doing. Don't enter any position if you don't understand whatever is happening. Like in this case, only the moving average showing us that the current active trend is upwards, but the ADX is not showing us anything. So you leave it. You leave it. There's no harm in leaving what you don't understand. There's also this one. In this case, I didn't understand this, so there was no point for entering this cell. I didn't enter it. It looked good, but I didn't trade it because there was no clear direction on this one. Then from this point here, just a second, this from that point up to where the up to somewhere here, up to somewhere there, this indicator was showing us a buy. It was showing us there's an active uptrend, and at the same time there was an active uptrend on this one, on the moving average. So those are two things showing you the same thing. If you have two indicators, trend indicators, giving you the same information, then it means that entering any position here upwards makes you stand a chance to make more money than if you are just looking at one indicator. So you'll have that data. This is a bit clearer. You can see from this time to this time, the green line was above the red one, and the complete line was also above 25, which confirmed that the overall trend was upwards. So basically, while the price was here, if you've looked at most of my analysis, daily analysis, you'll realize that I started buying from this point. I recommended a buy there, which went correctly. I also did take a buy somewhere there. Based on when the price went up, then it came back. I saw that as a pin buy and a chance for buying. Then I also took another buy somewhere there. Then I recommended another buy somewhere there. Then I also recommended another buy somewhere. When the price came back to this level here, I recommended a buy up to this level. So as it is at the moment, we are likely heading upwards because the moving average is showing us a buy, and also this one, this is a sign for a buy. This is a sign that the active trend currently is upwards. So we want price to keep moving up and should go up to somewhere around this point. So other than these two, these are just two good indicators. There's another one here which you may want to add. This is called envelopes. There, envelopes, these are just two lines. There's the upper envelope and then there's the lower envelope. So the period that comes by default is 14. The colors are blue. You'll be able to see them on the screen where after I touch this, and then you'll be able to touch that like that. This is how it appears. So if you've ever seen this on my screen, then just know that this is what I meant. So how this indicator works, it works just the same way the moving average works, just that there are two. So assuming you increase this period to 52, then the envelopes will actually enter into this line. It will become one thick line instead. Let's do that. 52. See now it has attached itself on the line which it had. And if you reduce that to 14, sorry, just a second, to 14, then it now gets back to its place. So this one, it works the same way as the moving average. All of them show the same thing. Anytime the price moves away from the envelope, you wait for price to come back to the same envelope and then bounce off of it. Then when it goes back, comes back, you pick a buy. When it goes back, you pick a buy. So this supports my position here, the position I took a buy. I could also have taken a buy based on that one, another buy. This was not a very good trade. There was a buy there which was faulted, the price went down. Then I'm also supposed to pick a buy just now. So this is how envelopes work. Envelope works just the same way the moving average works. Just that anytime the price comes back to it, you pick a trade. You pick a trade, and then the price breaks below price to get back up. And this, so now we have like three charts. We are sieving unnecessary trades. We have this, we have this, and then you also have this one. And then there's a place here where there was no clear direction. We have that one. From this point, there was no clear direction because the indicator which was here was actually not giving us a clear direction. So at this point, when there's no clear direction, there was contradictory. Like the envelope was giving us a sell signal, but the moving average was showing us a buy. This one was showing us a sell. So this one was outside. The moving average was actually outside. It's not giving us the same information. So we leave that aside. If you see a sell signal while this is happening, don't trade it just because this moving average is showing you something opposite. Let me move that to 200 to see. It's not good there. It's correct. So this is what we're looking at. So far we've looked at just like we have just 3 indicators attached to our chart. We have this one, we have moving average, and then you also have envelopes, and have ADX. By far, these are my best indicators. These are my best. They are my favorite indicators. They're the ones that are attached to any chart basically. They're the ones that if I want to trade, I'll look for this moving average, look for this envelope, and then I'm also going to look there. So sometimes I may not look at the envelopes, but I'll definitely have my moving average on my chart. So there are also other trend indicators which are significant. We have this, we have Bollinger Bands. We have Bollinger Bands there. Also have this one. This is also a very good one. I'm not going to explain it, but how it works basically is this, that anytime you are looking at a daily chart and then the daily chart has closed above, you find that this daily chart, the price has actually closed above middle moving average, or this one has closed above. So assuming, like in this case, we have this as closed above, what you need to do at that particular time, the next day, ensure that on the lesser time frame, price is actually breaking above the upper one. So I'm not going to look at this deeply. I'm not going to focus so much on it. Other than this, there's also another one. We have this one. This one also I'm not going to look at it so much. It looks like moving, but it's not moving average. It's a combination of moving average and others. Like that. And you also have parabolic. So this green one, let me make the appearance look good. So anytime you have to change up here, this is how you do the change. See, the change is affected immediately. Then we delete that, and then we attach also the last one, which is standard deviation. This one is plotted on a separate window. So that should pretty much bring us to the end of today's webinar. See you again tomorrow at 7:30 GMT. Thank you. So there's one thing which I have not mentioned. I have not said that the contest which was being held like every Wednesdays is actually being done every day up to 26th of April. So you can still predict now the price where you expect GBP USD to be at the end of the day. Then after that, FreshForex will give you $30 bonus. So the contest is still on. You can still predict, even based on whatever we just talked about now. You can still predict where you expect the price to be at the end of the day, and FreshForex will be able to give you $30 bonus by the end of tomorrow. So thank you very much. I'll see you again next time.